Good afternoon. My name's William Bird, and I'm with Keller Williams Realty. And right now, I'm just going to do a real quick vlog. I'm going to talk about some things in my own life that I had to overcome in my struggle and in my career change. So a little bit about me. I recently retired out of the Air Force. I spent 20 years lived in about 6 or 7 different places, deployed about 5, 6 times, and was really institutionalized by the Air Force. And so when I retired, I came across a definite fear. And so that's the first thing I want to talk about is the fear of the unknown and the fear of success, in all honesty, if I'm going to be completely accurate. So let me go ahead and talk about the fear of the unknown. So I was very comfortable in the Air Force. I was, knew how to do my job, and I was very set up as far as, we have checklists and everything was, you do it by the book, and, it's almost next to impossible to go wrong. You always have someone telling you where to be and at what time. And so because of that, I found it very easy to excel, in all honesty. So when I made my choice to exit the Air Force, it was based off of some family reasons. My children were really not coping very well with my deployments. So I made the decision to exit the Air Force. And I really kind of just figured that I would just be able to get a real quick job and, no big deal. So that the sooner that as the date came about to actually do my transition, I found that I was almost overcome by a crippling fear and depression that, I was scared of what I was going to do next. What was I going to do without the military and someone telling me what to do? And that was furthered along by my my job search. So I was constantly trying to find jobs and do the interviews and the resumes and make myself look appealing to employers. And I started going on some interviews, and I kind of found that I was scared to accept any of these interviews or accept any of these positions, because I didn't feel that I needed to put the same level of priority and sacrifice that I did in the military on this local business or this big box store like Lowe's or Walmart or something like that. So I decided to go ahead and jump into the entrepreneurial ring. So I decided to go ahead and get into real estate. And I made a decision, but then again, fear crept in. And it was almost a destabilizing fear. How am I going to do this? You start getting, we call it, in my company, we call it the drunk monkey. You get that drunk monkey on your shoulders telling you all the ways you're going to fail. And, with my family's livelihood at stake, it's one of those scary things is, how am I going to succeed? Or not just how, but am I? What if? The what if game comes in. So that fear really, really crippled me in a lot of areas. And so that kind of brings me to my next point, was that in order to overcome that fear, you have to have a paradigm mindset shift. I had to change the way I think. So one of the things I did is I started reading certain books, like self-help books and whatnot. So I looked at the first one that really changed my perspective was Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. And one of the things that he really emphasized there, and it was really super early on in the book, was remove the word can't from your vocabulary. And so he said, when you use that word I can't, or that phrase I can't, you're already giving yourself a reason to quit. You're just saying it's not possible. So instead of using I can't, you change your mindset to think, how can I? Because now once I've asked myself that question, and again, this is directly quoting Robert Kiyosaki, it says, how can I? Now I'm making my brain think of a solution.